Short video. 2 minutes. Hello. I'm Casey REAS. I'm an artist who writes software. I'm engaged with software as a visual arts medium. I see software as the most recent form in the development of visual arts media, drawing and painting, printing, film, video, software. For the last 20 years, I've been running my own studio, writing code to create visual media including works on paper, public installations, collaborations with architects and musicians, and plenty of projected work for galleries and museums. I'm excited that you can experience the compressed cinema videos. They are a new direction in my work, and they are my first collaboration with Jan St. Werner. Jan and I met about 3 years ago. I've been a fan of his music with Andy Toma, the collaboration Mouse on Mars, for many years, for over 20 years, but I was new to Jan's solo work. I got really excited about his new release at the time, Spectric Acid. I started listening to it in the studio and thinking about translating its energy and rhythms into images. We decided to work together on the compressed cinema videos to explore something new, something like an alchemy of image and sound. Fusing the two and how they activate our senses is what this work is about. These videos were created in the long tradition of experimental cinema and abstract animation. Most specifically, they were inspired by Tom, the Piper's Son, a film by Ken Jacobs. I'm very grateful to Hei-Min Cho, my studio assistant, who was the technical lead on the visual work for 2 years. This work wouldn't have been possible to create without her expertise. Thank you for listening.
Hi, my name is Julieta and I'm a visual artist based in Mexico City. My creative research incorporates three-dimensional form, whether it's creating installation, sculpture, 3D renderings, and animation. I work with computers as a way to reflect on how we are altered by the digitization of our existence. I'm interested in the overlaps that occur in the interaction between physical and digital realities. And through my work, I create narratives that reflect upon institutional past, presents, and futures. I'm currently interested in themes like feminism, subversive technologies, fiction, and memory, and how these can be used to re-signify, reimagine, and reshape our understanding of institutions, and monuments to be more precise. The project Nuestra Victoria, Our Victory, is a series of works about a prominent Mexico City monument. During the summer of 2019, hours after serving as the site of protests focused on violence against women, the monument was boarded up. The government soon began working on its restoration, erasing the voices of protest that it carried. This project allows the words and actions of civil resistance to be maintained in our collective memory.
When we discuss art, we respect each other's opinion because we know our impressions are just highly subjective. But only until the artist steps into the room. Because now we have access to the creator and we have access to answers, asking how and why did you create this piece, what drove you? And I think it is because we link an artwork to its artist, an object to its origin. What drives me about AI art is to question this link between an intention and the relating piece. So, what if we perceive an artwork, but there will never be an artist stepping into the room? Basically no authority at all, just all of us becoming passive observers, discussing forever. In order to define the form of Helen, we used a custom deep learning solution for 3D forms. This network is then trained with a dataset of 120,000 individual sculptures of historical busts. Once it is trained, our network generates new alternative versions of this historical dataset. When it comes to Helen, I think I know who it is. I see a very clear historical figure and I can't really unsee it. But then again, I would be lying if I would pretend that I definitely know who it is, because I have never really shaped my ideas or intentions into this actual form. So I became a spectator. Now I see a piece, I see a creation, but I can't see any creator around.
Hi, I'm Richard Vijgen. Welcome to our studio. We're in a converted garage in Arnhem, the Netherlands, that we use as an office and space for prototyping. What you cannot see is that this space is filled with digital signals. We are literally surrounded with information. Visualizing this invisible technological dimension is the main focus of my work. With Architecture of Radio, I created an application that shows the invisible signals from satellites and cell towers that surround us. Wi-Fi Tapestry, on the other hand, uses thermochromic yarns and heating elements to visualize the Wi-Fi activity in a space. As wireless devices distribute their bandwidth across different Wi-Fi channels, different parts of the tapestry change color. The work Hertzian Landscapes comes from the same curiosity to explore the invisible world around us. It portrays the radio spectrum as a landscape with hundreds of applications from military satellites to medical implants as spatial features. It is a landscape that you can both read and get lost in. I'm very happy to be part of the Lumen family, and I hope that you will be able to explore the work Hertzian Landscapes in a virtual exhibition.
I'm Éline Le Garnisson, an experienced designer from La Réunion, a small French island in the Indian Ocean. I have explored its landscapes my whole youth, and I believe these interactions strongly influence my work. This is why I thought I'd take you on a little walk out there. Growing up in such a place, the notion of embodiment, the full body as a mean for interaction, is strongly rooted within me. Here rocks, soils, waters and lights are all a call for exploration. Different forms, motions, and substances influence your perception, your moods and movements. Multisensory experiences are a fascinating normality. It makes you fully aware of the world, but also of your own body within it. The world most of us evolve in is quite different from this one. Spatial context and interactions tend to limit and control our movements, disengaging us from our bodies and environments. Concerned about this contrast, I often ask myself how human-machine interactions could build on the ones we have with natural environments. This is how working with XR became an evidence. I see it as a medium to create alternative realities as enriching as our physical world. And in the case of imbalance, a medium to train and amplify our perception and awareness of what is already out there.
Hello, I am Liliana Farber. I am a Uruguayan-Israeli visual artist based in New York. I speak to you from the beautiful North Atlantic coast. To be precise, at the latitude of 41 degrees, 3 minutes and 59 seconds north. But I could be anywhere, really. I could be in my hometown, Montevideo, at the shores of the River Plate, or I could be in Tel Aviv, staring at the Mediterranean, or I could be lost in the deep oceans, looking at the endless blue from a fictional island. A bit about my practice. In my work, I look at the protocols that construct reality to try to understand how we construct ourselves. The work that was selected for the Lumen Prize is called Terram im Aspectum. This is a work that inquires into the conception, institutions, and legacies of knowledge. This work centers around phantom islands. These are bodies of land that were represented for many years in maps, but at some point were proven to have never existed. In my work, I recreate those islands as satellite photography through a machine learning algorithm trained with images from Google Earth. The existence of these islands in the collective consciousness was product of colonial projects, mythologies, and scientific errors. Some of those islands are more famous, like the mythological Atlantis, and some are more modest, like Jupiter Reef, an archipelago that was taken out of map just in 2015, that is 10 years after Google Earth was launched. As posthumous monuments to mythologies, Theorem Aspecto question what does it mean to have a global mapping system that defines what is real and what is not, about fictions and about the faith, put both in ancient and modern technologies to define the world. History has proven many maps to be inaccurate, but we still hold satellite photography as truthful. The combination of godlike view with machine-made images create the illusion of precise and neutral documentation. However, there's no such thing as a neutral data visualization. Theorem Aspecto question the power and access of information systems and ask the question, what does it mean to have a global system that defines the geography of the world? And whom, if any institution, should be in charge of this task? I thank you all for your attention, and I hope you enjoy the artworks tonight.
My name is TUPAC MARTIR. I am the creative director of SATORE Studio. We are a London-based company that came out of live entertainment. We dwell also on the architectural lighting and media facade. And we have a strand of the studio that deals more with immersive and new technologies and the integration of those technologies into what we do within live entertainment.
As an artist, you try to create beautiful things and you aim to do the best that you can. If you're happy with everything that you do, then you're not really pushing yourself to the limit. You've found a nice little place to sit and deliver from your own limits. And I think part of delivering something good every single time is you're pushing yourself to the limit every single day.
Cosmos within us. It's a performance that happens in real time, but it is driven fully by an interactor wearing a headset and driving through it on VR. What makes it very, very different to any other type of XR, VR, whatever you want to call it, is that it's actually a new genre. We've come in and massively pushed it to a new boundary, and so we've been thinking that the name that could be called is performative art, because it is a performance that happens in different realities.
And at first it was just the gimmick of doing something in VR, and slowly we've actually created stories that people feel true empathy, that there is that relationship between you and what's happening in your world. We've evolved to that point in which the story is now king, is not the technology. The evolution of this is when you don't know what's shot in VP, what's shot in real, and actually you don't care, because what you're really caring about is the final story that we're trying to tell. We're going for the humanity within technology.
The grammar scene is such a powerful anchoring moment. The smiles on people's faces when they get to those scenes. At that moment we know we got them. It does have a lot of sadness in the piece, and the tears that people tend to have are very real. The hope for Cosmos is that Cosmos becomes the first performative art that opens the floodgates to a whole new world of entertainment.
Thank you very much to Lumen for this award.
The term mille fleurs, from French meaning literally thousand flowers, refers to a background style used in medieval and early Renaissance tapestry, consisting of many different small flowers and plants, usually shown on a darker backdrop, as though growing in grass. Weavers were obliged to repeat figure designs by members of the Painters Guild, but could often design the floral backgrounds themselves. In an effort to further extrapolate this reversal of the image hierarchy, figures and narrative have been omitted altogether, focusing solely on the background. At the core of the project are computer-generated, hyper-stylized, symmetrical flowers. After establishing a number of fixed parameters, 2,000 unique flowers have been generated algorithmically and digitally woven into a tapestry.
I'm Liu Hua, an artist who works in installation, moving image, and painting. I deploy neurotechnology to construct immersive and interactive environments, exploring the subjectivity and plasticity of human emotions and perceptions. I draw inspirations from post-humanism, seeking to reimagine human agency at a time when feelings and desires could be quantified, predicted, and affected by neuroscience. My two-channel video work, Racing Thoughts, interrogates the power dynamics between humanity and technology by juxtaposing both clinical and humanistic approaches to my emotions during a discursive internet surfing. On the right channel, a brainwave headset objectively monitors my real-time emotional changes. On the left channel, my hand-drawn animations illustrate my subjective thoughts and imagination with a human touch. As I scroll through the endless web pages, the internet also brings uninspected discoveries back into the real world, which range from data privacy to mental health issues, from air pollution in China to its nuclear history during the Cold War. In the end, this virtual journey on the internet leads to my on-site field research at China's first military nuclear base, 404. 历史的每一次转折，就像点开新的网页，把人带到新的地方，看最后会到哪儿。